content is not meant as legal advice. The use or attempted use of any idea or procedure discussed in these sessions is applied to recipients' own personal transactions, cases, or controversies, or applied to other cases may or may not result in a favorable outcome or the same outcome as discussed in these sessions. Each transaction, case, or controversy may be different as a result of unique actions or unique statements made by the parties therein, and each different act or statement in any transaction affects or may affect whether any procedure or idea discussed in these sessions is relevant to the recipient's transactions or that the outcome thereof will be depicted as in these sessions. The discussion of ideas or procedures in these sessions is not exhaustive of the subjects being discussed. Many ideas and concepts that can affect the outcome of any legal or commercial procedure are not discussed in these sessions. In fact, the recipients may not be aware of these issues may have an adverse effect on the outcome of the recipient's procedures. It is the responsibility of the recipients to understand their own transactions and to apply the appropriate and complete concepts necessary for a procedural and substantive remedy thereto. These sessions may be redistributed privately by any recipient to another recipient requesting them, conditioned upon the fact that this notice is provided therewith. If you have any questions, you can contact Mastering Commerce by email at info@masteringcommerce.org.
Welcome. I'm excited about the information that we have to share with you this particular weekend. Myself, Jack, and Gordon, in the recent months we feel, kind of unlocked things to where we're having an extraordinary high level of success with processes, and I feel that there's a formula to this success. And what we're going to share with you this weekend is the formula, so that you can become the authors of processes that are effective. Okay? We will be sharing with you specific examples of process so that you can see how they work. How many people are new to this information? Okay, so we got a couple people in here. So we'll cover the basics over the next, at least today. I don't know if we'll cover, we may feel like you've been blasted into orbit tomorrow. I invite all of you who are new to ask questions. Okay? There are no stupid questions. But if you don't ask the questions, we can't create clarity for you, and you'll be lost when we get into day 2, day 3. You'll really be lost. Okay? So I invite all of you to ask questions so that you can be clear on the concepts, the foundation, and the principles, so that when we move into the materials for tomorrow and the materials for Sunday, you're keeping up. I also invite you to watch the video, familiarize yourself with our past work as well, so that you can get more of the foundation, because we can't cover, we could spend 6 days just on the foundation stuff for contract and law. But there's hundreds of hours out there where we've done work in foundation for you guys to get familiar. How many of you feel like you're well seasoned and very experienced in this? Okay. We got 0. So if we had levels of competency here, we got beginner here, and we have master here. Raise your hand when I get to about where you're at. Okay, all right, we got a couple. Here we go. We're about halfway there. All right, a couple more. We're getting down low, going towards beginner. Okay. What's the advantage, the power in being a beginner? What's that?
You learn something.
There's room for learning. There's room for improvement. So you notice how when I got down to the bottom of beginner here, Jack raised his hand. Because Jack knows that when you hold yourself as a beginner, there's always room to learn and improve. And if we didn't hold ourselves as beginners, we wouldn't be constantly evolving in our process as we have. If we held ourselves as masters, we'd say, no, we know, and this is the right way. And it's not that we didn't create success with how we were doing things 3 years ago. But we've had a lot more success with more inexperienced people as we've refined the process. So Jack or myself or Gordon may be able to have success with processes we were doing 3 years ago, but now we're having people who have as little experience as you having success. Okay, so there are some principles you have to understand. So what we're going to cover in these first couple sessions is foundation, principles of contract and law. So that as you, and you also wanted to do tying it all three areas together, okay? So, and what I'll do is I'll try to put that into the context of contract law and weeding it out. So, first of all, what is law? Law is contract, says who? Says Gordon. Okay. What makes law contract? Or what makes contract law? Consent? Is there law without consent? So how did you consent to the law? How did you form the contract? Did you sign something? What's that? Your expression. What do you mean by that? The way you conduct yourself. So does it mean you have to sign something to be in a contract? No, it's implied. For instance, you sit down at a restaurant to eat dinner. You order from the menu, which has prices listed on them. Did you sign something saying you would pay the price of the food at the end of the meal? No. But your conduct, sitting in the chair, ordering from the menu, receiving the food, eating the food, that's a course of performance. Okay, that's a term from the UCC. Course of performance. Through the course of performance, you have implied your consent to the contract.
Let's say you go into, let's say, a competition and the officer does something against your will.
Okay, so you have a confrontation and something happens against your will. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so if I sat down in a restaurant to eat, but I didn't want to pay, is paying against my will at that point? Okay, so who's in honor and who's in dishonor? So you'd have to give me more specifics on the contract.
I think that the officer